Welcome back to the coin world. Old coin review and value, the ultimate destination for rare coin discoveries, numismatic treasures, and the hidden value in your pocket change. Liberty 5-cent coin from 1978. It might just turn the tables for you. What seems like an ordinary nickel sitting in a drawer could actually be a small piece of history with hidden value. Many people overlook these coins, thinking they are too common to matter, but certain 1978 5-cent coins can surprise collectors and even sell for impressive amounts. Stick around until the end of this video because we're going to explore its history, what makes it special, and how you can sell it. At the very end, I'll tell you how to get its exact price and the proper selling procedure simply by commenting below. The Liberty 5-cent coin, commonly known as the Jefferson nickel, has been an important part of American currency since 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, its front features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers and the third president of the United States. The reverse side proudly displays Monticello, Jefferson's famous home in Virginia. The 1978 edition continued this iconic design, but each year of minting carries its own story, mintage figures, and potential for rare errors. In 1978, these nickels were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, each producing millions of coins for circulation. While most were used in everyday transactions, a number of coins were carefully preserved by collectors, leaving behind some remarkable mint state examples. These are the coins that attract serious interest today, because their sharp details, luster, and clean surfaces are becoming harder to find with time. The late 1970s was a period of change in the United States. Inflation was on the rise, the economy was shifting, and coins like the 5-cent piece were part of daily commerce, passing through countless hands. Each of these coins carries with it a piece of that era's economic story, while the design remained the same. Subtle differences in strike quality, mint marks, and varieties can make some examples far more valuable than others. Collectors pay close attention to mint marks. A 1978 nickel with the D mark for Denver can have different market interest than one from Philadelphia with no mint mark. Beyond that, some coins from this year exhibit fascinating minting errors. Off-center strikes, double dies, and unusually strong strikes can make a single nickel worth far more than face value. These error coins are not just mistakes, they're unique treasures that collectors actively hunt for. Condition is key when determining value. A circulated 1978 nickel might only bring a small premium, but an uncirculated or proof-like specimen can fetch significantly more. High-grade coins certified by grading services can reach values that surprise those who thought of these nickels as ordinary pocket change. The historical significance also adds to the appeal. Thomas Jefferson's portrait has been on the nickel for decades, and holding a 1978 5-cent coin connects you directly to the past. Imagine the hands that might have held it during that period. The purchases, impressive prices at auctions. Collectors seek coins with sharp details, original luster, and minimal signs of wear. Those are the specimens that often fetch hundreds or even thousands. As with many wheat pennies, the real excitement lies in what collectors are willing to pay today. On platforms like eBay and heritage auctions, 1935 wheat pennies in pristine condition have sold for amounts that would shock anyone who dismisses pennies as worthless. Bidding wars often erupt over coins with unusual features or extraordinary preservation, sending prices soaring. Part of the magic of the 1935 penny lies in its dual nature. On one hand, it is an accessible coin, many people can find one in their collection. On the other hand, it has the potential, depending on condition and rarity, to bring in substantial money if sold in the right marketplace. This balance between commonality and hidden value is what makes it such a captivating piece for collectors and investors alike. Its historical importance cannot be overstated. This was a coin used by children to buy their first treats, by workers to scrape together enough for lunch, by families stretching every cent during desperate times. Holding one today is like holding a tiny time capsule of the 1930s. In auctions, rare varieties of the 1935 penny have surprised even seasoned collectors. Some examples graded by top certification services like PCGS and NGC have broken expectations, proving that condition and provenance can make all the difference. Stories of these surprising sales continue to fuel interest among those hunting for the next great find. So why does the 1935 wheat penny continue to matter so much in the coin world? Because it connects everyday people to a grander story. It embodies the grit of a generation, that endured hardship and emerged stronger. It proves that something as small as a penny can carry enormous historical and financial weight. Now, if you've held on to one of these coins or maybe inherited a collection from a relative, you might be sitting on something much more valuable than you think. This is where things could turn the tables for you. And here's the key part. If you really want to know what your 1935 Liberty Wheat penny could be worth today, if you want to learn where and how you can actually sell it for top value, here's what I want you to do. Drop the word price in the comment box below, and I'll personally tell you not just its value, but also the best way to sell it for maximum profit.
Today we are going to dive deep into the story of one of the most fascinating coins of the 20th century, the 1941 Liberty Wheat penny. Now, before we get into the details, let me tell you this: if you happen to own this coin, it might just turn the tables for you. Stick around until the very end of the video, because I will share how much this coin can be worth in today's market, and how you can sell it for the best price. And at the end, I'll ask you to comment the word price in the comment section, and I'll personally tell you its real selling value and the exact process of how to sell it safely and profitably. The 1941 Liberty Wheat penny was minted during a turning point in world history. The United States had not yet entered World War II, but the conflict was already raging across Europe and Asia. The production of this coin took place under those looming circumstances, giving it not just monetary value, but also historical depth. Every penny struck in 1941 carries with it the weight of a nation preparing for one of the greatest struggles in human history, designed by Victor David Brenner. The obverse side of the 1941 Liberty Wheat penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This portrait was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and by 1941 it had already become a national symbol of honesty, unity, and strength. The design remained unchanged, giving this coin a sense of continuity and tradition, linking Americans through generations. On the reverse side, the coin proudly displays two wheat stalks arching along the edges, framing the words 1 cent and United States.
Imagine reaching into an old coin jar or flipping through a forgotten collection and suddenly spotting a Liberty $50 from 1990. At first glance, it might feel like just another piece of pocket change. But what if I told you that this coin has the potential to turn the tables for you in ways you never imagined? This is not just about a $50. It's about the history it carries, the rarity of its condition, and the unexpected values it can bring on major selling platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and other online marketplaces. If you own one of these coins, you might just be sitting on an opportunity worth exploring. Stick around until the end, because I'll reveal how collectors are pricing it today and how you can sell one if you have it. The Liberty $50, also known as the Kennedy $50, has been a staple in American coinage since 1964, minted to honor President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. By 1990, the $50 was still being produced in large numbers, but something had changed. It was no longer widely circulated in everyday transactions. Instead, it became more of a collector's coin, with many people saving them in mint rolls or sets. That makes the 1990 $50 an interesting find, because while millions were made, the real value lies in its grade, errors, and collector demand. Most of the 1990 $50 you'll find are made of a copper nickel-clad composition, with a face value of 50 cents, but their market price can be far higher depending on condition. Circulated coins typically trade close to face value, but when you move into uncirculated proof or error varieties, the value can rise quickly. On eBay, for example, circulated 1990 Liberty $50 may sell between $1 and $5, while mint state graded examples can fetch anywhere from $15 to $50. Proof coins, especially those with cameo or deep cameo designations, can bring in $30 to well over $100, depending on the demand at auction. But here's where it gets even more exciting. Error coins from 1990 are extremely desirable. Mistrikes, double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchette can sell for hundreds, sometimes even over $1,000 when certified by grading authorities like PCGS or NGC. Auction results have shown that collectors are willing to pay a premium when the error is dramatic and the coin's condition is solid. That's why checking your coin carefully is so important. Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have listed high-grade examples of 1990 half dollars that reached impressive hammer prices, especially when encapsulated in top-tier grades like MS67 or higher. These coins are not common, and collectors know that finding one in pristine condition is like striking gold. Add an error into the mix and the value. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that looks simple, a coin that may have passed through thousands of hands in grocery stores, gas stations, and school cafeterias, yet silently carries with it decades of American history and value far beyond its 5 cents. That is the story of the Liberty 5-cent coin from 1960, to a small piece of change that could turn the tables for you if you happen to own one. So stick around until the end of this video, because not only will I take you deep into its history, but I will also reveal its worth according to eBay and other online platforms, along with how you could sell it if you are lucky enough to have one. The 1962 Liberty 5 cent, also known as the Jefferson nickel, is part of a long-running series that began in 1938 and still continues today. By 1962, the design had already been circulating for nearly a quarter century, yet it retained its place in American life as one of the most recognized and heavily used coins in the nation's currency system. On the obverse of the coin, we see the portrait of Thomas Jefferson III, President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. This portrait was designed by Felix Schlag, who won a design contest in 1938. Jefferson's image symbolizes leadership, democracy, and the enduring values of American independence, making the coin more than just money, but a reminder of national identity. On the reverse side, you will find Jefferson's home Monticello, an architectural masterpiece and an American icon. The inclusion of Monticello adds depth to the coin, linking Jefferson's political legacy with his vision for culture, architecture, and education. The design has remained one of the most stable in U.S. coinage history, giving it a strong identity among collectors. The 1962 nickel was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, with Denver producing the majority of coins. More than 380 million nickels were struck that year, which means the coin is not particularly rare in its most common forms. However, condition and errors are where the true value lies. Know exactly how much your specific coin is worth and how you can sell it. Here's what to do. Comment the word price in the comment box, and I will personally tell you its value according to its condition, as well as guide you through the selling